Well, hello everybody and welcome to the Paddock show of the Invictus Racing League. I'm Energy Dan and I will be your host this evening. Now joining me in the Paddock box is of course Rymac. Rymac, how are you doing?
I'm good, Dan. Thanks for having me. Tonight we will recap on last week's results at Invictus Racing League. Our Xbox League took to Abu Dhabi, while our PS4 leagues were at Spa in Belgium.
Good stuff, Rymac. And of course, the whole point of the Paddock is to bring you guys closer to the drivers and we can get their opinions on the tracks or the results of the previous week. And of course, joining us in the Paddock, we've got Reshka from Formula 2. Welcome, Reshka. And also we've got Craig from F3. Welcome, Craig.
Good evening.
Thanks for joining us, boys. It's a pleasure to have you. Rymac.
And as always, joining us tonight, the driver to beat is IRL F1's the Warrislander. How you doing, bud? You alright?
Yeah, I'm alright, thank you. Thanks for having me, guys.
Now, on to the week's results. First off, on Sunday, we had our Xbox League in Abu Dhabi. Qualifying results, we had the Haas of Scartrix on pole with a 134.189. Sir Sharps in the racing point, a tenth and a half behind. DXT HK and Liverpool Ewan locking out the second row, and DJ Danny rounding out your top 5 for qualifying. The race results showed Scartrix cross the line in first, DJ Danny in second, and Sir Sharps in third. But after an in-game glitch with a time penalty and a post-race investigation, saw DJ Danny take the top step of the podium and Scartrix fall to second.
Fantastic stuff. Thanks for that, Rymac. And then that moves us on to our PS4 of Invictus Racing League, which is of course on Monday nights at 8 o'clock with Gareth and Sab. That was of course the qualifying being the first 5 drivers was CRG Gamer. We also then had Harry BR25 in second place. Starting the second row of the grid is of course KG Ethnic 7. In fourth, finish off the second row is Jumperlinen. And then in the 5th spot was VSR Ice-T. Very eventful race. If you didn't see it, you'll have to go back and watch this because it was absolutely thrilling. Now, coming across the line in first place, taking that first top step, was of course CRG Gamer 62. We had Sammy Pepito in second place, and then finishing off the last position of the podiums was of course Harry B R25. That's concluding the Formula 1 race for Invictus Racing League. Rymac? Oh,
yeah,
sorry,
well, obviously.
sorry, my apologies. Wiselander, would you just give us a quick rundown of how you thought the race went for Formula 1 on Monday night?
Well, it was typical Spa weather. Started out dry and later on got wet, and then it got very wet. I had some troubles at the start with a stalled Mercedes in front of me, so a bit of a difficult race in the beginning, but then I made the right decision twice in the rain by pitting a lap earlier than the rest, and I could still fight myself up to P5. So it was very eventful and fun with lots of overtaking and action. So as you said, people should really make sure they check that one out.
Yeah, definitely, mate. Thanks for that, Rice.
Now, unfortunately, your Tuesday night, we had some connection issues with the Realistic Performance League hosted by Malk and Tim. So the Realistic Performance race will be rescheduled for either later on in the season or the end of. And then that brings us on to Wednesday night, where we have 2 races. First off, we have the IRL F2, which is hosted by yours truly, Energy Dan, and alongside him in the commentary box is James Hook. Qualifying, we saw Focky Good took pole in the racing point with a 143.294. Arbiz 09 in second, Jacob in third, RNGS takes fourth, and finally Ferocious Dan in fifth. The race results saw something very similar of that to the Xbox League. A post-race investigation actually awarded Arbiz 09 the victory, RG4422 in second, and Focky Good in third. 3 new additions to the IRL season, showing a very, very dominant performance around Spa. Tonight we obviously also have Reshka from F2. How did you feel your race went, Reshka?
I think I had
Good stuff. Dan, for F3?
Yeah, so for F3, of course, we got Luke Bailey 14 actually took the pole position around Spa, with yours truly, Craig, the Flying Scotsman, pulling up in second place. We've got Steel B 66 in third, and then we've got TTG Jeffrey in fourth, with F1 Mr. P80 in fifth. Again, an absolute thrilling race. I thoroughly enjoyed watching this back, but we actually had Drago coming across the line in first place. That was his first win of Invictus Racing League after his 20th attempt, so congratulations to Drago. Just coming behind him is, of course, sorry, my screen's gone really fuzzy there. That is typical. Do apologise, guys, bear with me.
It was actually Luke Bailey that crossed the line in second.
Bailey, there we go. Thanks for that, mate. And then we've got Steel B 66 in third. Craig, you finished fourth, so well done for that. And then we've got F1 Richard 67 in fifth. Thrilling race. Do go, guys, go back and watch it. You will not be disappointed. Craig, yourself, we just heard that obviously you got a really good result there, but how did your race actually go, mate?
Probably the biggest mistake I've ever made on Formula 1. Really caught sleeping. I can hear Ryan laughing in the background. He had a good chuckle on that when we had a chat. Massive mistake during the VSC. I had a 3-second penalty during the race, so I was holding on to a 2.1 second gap over Dre Gio. And I had very little ERS, so what I was doing was left foot braking through the VSC, which allowed Dre Gio to close in the gap, but I think if I had maintained the gap, he would have caught me, as I had very little ERS. But in terms of qualifying at a track that isn't my strongest, I was very surprised to actually qualify Mr. P, who was incredibly strong in Abu Dhabi, and just get behind Luke Bailey. I did make one final qualifying run at the end of the session, was 1/10 up sector 1, but because of that toll that you get up the chemistry, it certainly didn't want to take pole position. It was certainly my intention to try and get on the front row, or at least third or fourth, and just get that slipstream straight up to the end of sector 1. But you know, strong points for Renault, strong points for myself, so looking forward to Spain.
Good stuff, mate. Cheers, Craig. Thanks for that, mate. Absolutely fantastic. So, coming on to Spain, that'll bring us into hot laps, where we get to see Warislander go around, talk us through the lap. We get to watch him set a hot lap, and then of course we get our guest drivers Reshka and Craig to do the same. So guys, if you want to head towards the lobby, we'll get this done and see what you guys can do around Spain.
So, with Spain coming up, guys, what's your thoughts of the track, Warislander? If you don't mind giving us a little insight.
Yeah, I just heard you guys talking about it's not your favorite track. In terms of results, it actually is mine, because won quite a few races over the past few weeks here. So it seems like my pace is good, and I always tend to get into the right rhythm for this one. So hopefully I can get some good results in this week. I feel this is one of my best opportunities for that.
Good stuff, mate. Good stuff. Reshko, about yourself, mate? Are you looking forward to Spain? Yeah, it will be. It certainly will be. Craig, just a quick opinion from yourself on Spain.
Nice old school track. I like the more challenging sector 2, but absolutely vital to nail every corner, get every braking point right, particularly turn 1. If you can nail turn 1, turn 3, I think you've set yourself up for a good lap.
Good stuff. Good stuff. So, Warislander, you should be coming out the pits now, mate.
Yeah, I am. The tire warmers are being put on right now, so
Good stuff, mate.
just waiting for the green light. Yeah, there I am. So we're just coming out of the pit lane right now. people coming past on very high speed here. I think it's a bit of a average pit stop delta. And coming to turn 1, go back to third gear, go all the way over this curve to watch out for some imbalance as you go over that one. Try to take this one flat. Certainly in qualifying in races is a little bit more difficult and also far too bad for the tires. Back to third for this one. Try to get it quite tight. You can also take the wider line. I think there's 2 lines available. Then this is downhill, quite tricky. You can lock up very easily. Also try to, you can take it tight instantly. Also you can take it wider. This one is also, this is probably one of the corners where you have to watch out most for penalties, as is this one. It can be very tricky on exit if you have too much, if your car is too oversteery, and you can spin off right into the wall. One of the slowest points of the track now, and then sector 3 where you can save all the ERS you've used in the lap. Tires are usually on the hottest at this point. Try to keep the car in a straight line, and then very much steering input in the last chicane, and then you come up to the next lap.
Morris now beginning his hot lap, representing Ferrari as he does in Monday night's F1 League.
It's one of the corners that can really damage the tyres. It's a very long sweeping right hand corner with another right hand gear offloading that left, preloading that left front tyre.
A lot of short shifts for Boris, obviously running no traction in the F1 No Assist League.
The trickiest corners on the circuit, sometimes flat, depending on heavy fuel. Heavy fuel needs to lift on that part.
Boris also does well to get his car pointing completely straight to avoid that off-camber left-hander.
So we're on the last corner now for Weisslander. Powers it to the line, he'll be coming across the line after DRS. He comes across with a 1:18.610, fantastic. Well done Weisslander, great lap mate.
Thanks guys.
And we'll now jump on board with Reshka, who's just rounding the final chicane, ready to start his hot lap. Reshka, also another driver who actually, although he competes in F2, runs no assists.
So as Rymac saying, running no assist, this could be a tricky corner for no assists. Going left to right on the rear axle, preloading that rear axle, it's going to be very tricky when you put the power down.
Yeah, actually got a little touch on that left curb, which is a dangerous thing to do around Spain. You can see yourself facing the other way pretty easily. But as he comes up into Repsol, absolutely throws it round the long right-hander.
Yeah, just saw a bit of a lock up there from Resker on the front left. So coming through this next set of corners, you need to watch out for that one on the right. There you go. It can invalidate your lap if you go too far to the right on that one.
Cheeky little downshift there through Camps as well. Does well to keep all 4 tyres on the track.
Massive chunks of oversteer there as he put the power down, but he did very well to save that, so fair play from Resker.
Resker obviously feeling like he had a little bit of time to make up there. He absolutely throws it through the final sector, lifts the front wheels as he powers across the line, and he does it in a 1:19.752.
And that just brings us now onto the Flying Scotsman, which is of Craig, as he's coming round the final corner to power across the DRS line and start his hot lap of Spain.
Craig managing to stay well clear of the dangerous curb, using as much track as he possibly dares.
Craig setting purple in sector 1. So it looks like Craig's got some serious pace around here.
Does well to get the power on nice and early out of that fast left-right. Seems to carry the most speed up through camps as well. It's an absolutely flying lap so far from Craig.
Takes that beautifully there. It's a very tricky corner. If you take that line wrong, it can spin you as we're just approaching the last chicane section of Spain.
Craig doing very well throughout the full lap, and will he beat Boris Lander's time? Oh. And he takes second, but not by much, just under 2/10 in it. Excellent lap from all three, to be fair.
Yeah, it really was. Very impressive indeed. Well done to Boris Lander, Craig, and of course Reshka. Absolutely fantastic stuff there. Much faster than what I could muster up round here, so very impressive.
And that actually concludes tonight's Paddock show for you guys, hosted by Invictus Racing League. So thank you very much for watching. You can catch all the action for the PS4, F1, Realistic Performance, F2 and F3 on the YouTube channel. Dan has the URLs for that for you.
Yeah, so the if you go onto the YouTube channel for PS4, is just if you type in Invictus Racing League on YouTube, it'll bring up all of our PS4 leagues. We have actually just reached 300 subscribers. It's actually 302 tonight, so thank you to everyone who's been subscribing and watching us back. And of course, Rymac, if you want to run down the Xbox, where you can find the Xbox races.
Yeah, of course. So Sunday nights at 9:30, you'll catch Xbox on twitch.tv/Invictus Racing Leagues if you want to watch the race live, and soon they're uploaded to YouTube shortly after. Highlight videos are also coming to you for all leagues a few days after the races are completed, so make sure you tune in to the YouTube account for that. If you aren't already subscribed, please do, and make sure you have the notification bell turned on.
Thanks very much, Rymac. So there you go, that is the Xbox at 9:30 on the Twitch channel. Monday nights for F1 at 8 o'clock. We've got Tuesdays Realistic Performance at 8 o'clock on the YouTube channel, and also F2 and F3 happening side by side on a Wednesday. So Rymac, thank you very much for joining me this evening. It's been a pleasure, mate.
Thanks for having me again, Dan.
Yeah, no problem, mate. And Waris, thank you for once again setting a hot lap with us.
Yeah, it's been a pleasure, guys. Thank you.
No problem, mate. And Craig, congratulations on your second place there in hot laps, and thanks for joining us, mate.
Thank you, and thanks for inviting me this evening.
No problem, mate. And Reshka, thank you again. Thanks for your hot lap, and hopefully we'll see you again soon. So from me and all of the team here at Invictus Racing League, thank you for subscribing and watching, and we'll catch you another time. Take care, guys. Good night.